Hey guys, so for today's video, I kind of want to touch on a topic that's not very easy to talk about, and it's because, everybody has their own sets of opinions and ideas and perspectives and limitations on it, and it's boundaries. Boundaries that we need in our life and boundaries that we need to get rid of. And I think we can all agree that, yes, boundaries are put in place sometimes in order for us not to fall back into something that was toxic, unhealthy, or just very bad for us in our life. And we can also agree that sometimes boundaries are needed to be broken down and the wall needs to be, pulled all the way down in order for us to either get into that next stage in our life or just to become a better person or become happier or to become stronger. And I think the difference is what boundaries are needed, or, maybe a boundary that works for you doesn't work for another person, even though it might be the same situation, because everybody's different. Everybody's, has different strengths and has different weaknesses and deals with problems in different ways. So I think a boundary that might work for me is not the same boundary that's going to work for you, even if we're going through a very similar situation. And while yes, we can reflect and think and kind of, get inspired or get ideas from other people's experiences and other boundaries that they're using, at the end of the day, you're going to figure out what best works for you. You're going to figure out, how much strength you have in order to put up the right wall or to break down the wall. And again, I'm not going to go into what's right or what's wrong because I really don't know, and I don't really think there's a right and a wrong, but I'm going to go into what I have started to figure out, or what I'm starting to realize, or what I'm working on, and, or what is working for me at the time. And, I can't say that it's working fully completely because I'm still going through it and I'm still a little emotional. I'm still a little weak when it comes to, dealing with a situation. But I think it's taking me time to realize that I do need to put certain boundaries up in my life, and not so much in order for me to feel protected or to feel okay, more so that I don't fall back into something that I saw normal and comfortable that really wasn't. And it's taken me time, and it's hurt me in a way, because again, certain boundaries you don't really want to put up because you don't want them there, and you kind of just want to continue to live life hoping that everything will fix itself. But whenever you realize that you really need to put these boundaries up, it's kind of hurtful because, depending on the type of person you are, you deal with it in a certain situation, or you go about certain situations with a changed attitude or a changed perspective. And I can see that in myself. I feel like I put up a boundary in order for me to distance myself from somebody, and what I feel might be, okay, or, still a work in progress, I can also see that, or I can feel, or I can sense, me changing, and I think it might come off as cold, or it might come off as, careless. And as much as I don't want to, I guess make that seem like it's true, I think that's just my defense going up in order so that I don't easily fall back into something that I don't really want in my life right now, if that makes sense. And it also works the other way around. I think for me it's become even more of a struggle breaking down certain boundaries. While yes, I've broken down a lot of boundaries, there's still a lot that I have up, and I think it's because I want to make sure that I feel protected, and I want to make sure that I'm protecting myself from any more hurt in the future. But the more that I talk with certain friends, and they make me realize, if you don't give yourself the chance, if you don't take that risk, then you'll never know if maybe something else is not going to hurt you the way that it did in the past, if that makes any sense. Because I'm a very guarded person. I've always been guarded with my emotions, with my relationships, with my friendships, and it's like you invest so much in them, and you don't want anything or anyone to come and, I guess in a way, interact and bring a change or bring a difference or bring a discomfort to it. And that's how I am. And especially with just myself, I'm very guarded and I'm very protective because I don't want to see myself hurt. And so it's taken me time and it's taken me effort to break certain boundaries down, even as simple as going out and meeting new people or opening up to even some of my friends and family. It's, little walls like that slowly start to come down that kind of give me strength. And while I can't say that I have broken down every wall, because God knows that I have not and I won't, or at least not right now because I don't feel like I'm strong enough, slowly but surely, little by little, I'll start to. And hopefully, the boundaries that I do have up that are protecting me from certain situations or from a certain individual, once I feel like I'm stronger, I can either minimize, not completely get rid of, but, let those walls start to come down in order for me to actually deal with the situation. Because I think right now, all I need is distance and time to still reflect and still accept and still get used to the change. And, hopefully in time, I can deal with the situation and I can deal with the problem, and, we can fully just, I guess, either let go and move on, or I don't know. It's just, I guess timing will tell what that situation is going to be. But for now, I'm learning to either put up walls to stay protected and to stay away, and also learning which walls I need to get rid of or minimize, slowly but surely, in order for me to move on completely or find my happiness or just become stronger. And again, I don't have the full answers, because if I did, I wouldn't be here not knowing what to say or do. But still, it's something that I'm working on, and it's something that I really wanted to discuss today. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but that I'm still working. I'm still a work in progress, as I will be for the rest of my life. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that subject, and I don't know. I really don't know what everybody else has to say about it, because I feel like it's completely different for everybody. But yeah, I guess that's all. I guess I'll let y'all go today, and I will see y'all again tomorrow. Bye, guys.